Welcome to another episode of our Joy Corner, where our girl guide, Heather Boschke, helps us work out some of life's biggest problems and simplifies them and makes them easy for us to understand.
Hopefully.
Well, this is a big one today. This will be a tough one to tackle, and that is our cell phones and how we can't seem to part without them.
Yes. Our phones, while they connect us to things, they help us to be more productive in some instances, they have been one of the biggest culprits in preventing us from being present and also being productive. Because every time we get a new notification, we get a mini high of dopamine gets released. That is a chemical in our body that makes us feel good. It's a feel good chemical. And that reinforces the behavior. So we get the notification, we get the dopamine hit, we feel the high, we want more of that. That pattern creates an addiction, and that makes it difficult for us to live without feeding that addiction. And guess what? That addiction is right next to us all the time. Phones are literally addiction machines. And smartphones have also changed human behavior because we have become so responsive to them. We answer phone calls when it's socially unacceptable, and we interrupt conversations by looking down at our email or social media and text messages. We have prioritized the digital interruption over human interaction. And it kind of makes us wonder, who's in charge here? Is it us or our devices? And our phones serve as a source of endless distraction. Every notification and every app icon calls us into checking our screens, pulling our focus away from meaningful tasks and interactions. And this constant distraction comes at a real cost, because research has shown that it takes up to 25 minutes to fully refocus after we're being interrupted.
Whoa, that is a lot of wasted time there. Holy cow. Okay, so now that we know that it's somewhat of an addiction, how do we balance the need for that addiction, that screen time, and then, of course, staying connected?
Yeah. So two things. One is prioritizing face-to-face interactions when we can. Whenever possible, choose to meet in person over digitally. This is a 1-2 punch, because not only does face-to-face strengthen relationships, but it also reduces screen time. The other thing is recognize you do not have to be reachable 24/7. I know it feels like you need to be available all the time because you have a device that connects you to the rest of the world all the time. But unless it's urgent, you should only engage with people when you feel like you're ready to, or you're in the right headspace. So for example, you just got home from a meeting, you're ready to sit down and make lunch, and your boss calls. You don't have to pick up the phone. So even if you feel like you're supposed to, just because someone can get a hold of you, it doesn't mean it gives them the right to have access to you at any time. So maybe have your lunch and then call your boss back, or if it's a text message, or if it's an email. Again, you're in charge, not your phone.
Yeah, that is smart. And I do feel like waiting sometimes to respond, you have more clarity in your response, and it gives you time to really process, what it is that you want to say. So are there some strategies that we can use to help manage our screen time? This will be a good one.
I've got 5 of them.
Wow. All right.
The first one you've probably heard of before, but it's a good reminder. Have device-free zones. You do not have to have your phone tethered to you at all times. So maybe you start doing device-free dinners, and whoever grabs their phone or checks their phone, they're responsible for the dishes. Or if you're out, they're responsible for paying for dinner. So have places where you're just without your device. Number 2 is, remember the old school alarm clock that you plug in and the alarm goes off in the morning? Try using one of those instead of your phone, because when we wake up, we get sucked into our phone the first thing in the morning. And when we check our phone as the first thing, if it's our alarm, we're looking at it right away to turn our alarm off. It puts us in reactive mode to start the day. So after waking up, spend time on your priorities, not what your phone is telling you is a priority. So have coffee, eat breakfast, read, exercise, and then after your screen-free time, then you can engage with your phone intentionally instead of habitually. Number 3, turn off your notifications. These are one of the worst phone distractions. Every buzz, every chime, every pop-up pulls our attention away from what we're doing. So go through your notification settings and turn off the ones for the apps that don't need them, which is nearly all of them. And a lot of these apps default to notifications on. So apps for social media, shopping, news, these are non-essential services that can stand to lose their notification privileges. Another way to do this is just put your phone in airplane mode whenever you don't want distractions. Number 4, delete apps from your phone. Infinity Pool apps provide an endless stream of fresh content that sucks us in. Social media, news apps are designed to keep us continuously scrolling and refreshing because there's new content. These are often the biggest time wasters. So remove them from your phone and keep them on your computer if you really need to look at them. And I've had a lot of friends do this recently. They've just removed Instagram or Facebook from their phone completely. And if they look at it, it's on their computer. And number 5, switch your phone to grayscale. So I recently started doing this and I have to tell you, it works. So my screen looks like this. This makes your phone less enticing and visually stimulating with all those pops of color. So I don't see my notifications as red. They're all gray. So that doesn't draw my eye in, and it prevents me from idly scrolling and browsing. And neuroscience research shows that we get less emotionally engaged when we're looking at grayscale images. So try the grayscale. I swear it has helped me stop looking at my phone so much.
Wow.
And here's the reality, like smartphones and social media, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So it is up to us to decide how much of our time we want to dedicate to them. And especially social media. Like anytime 2 people are connecting on a social platform, remember it's being financed by a third party with other motives. Algorithms do not exist to benefit us. They benefit advertisers. The more people are scrolling and see ads, the more revenue that those social platforms make, which means the whole goal is to keep you scrolling as long as possible. We are not meant to be in front of screens all day, every day. And I can promise you that spending less time on your phone will make you a more joyful human.
Again, you give it to a straight girl. And I love those actionable items. Those are definitely things that we can do today and take control of our phone situation. Well, great to see you, honey.
Yes, take your time back.
And bring more joy into your life. Really consider, how much time you're spending on that cell phone. Is it really worth it? I might even say, ask yourself every time you look at it, was this really worth it? Or could I find more joy in other ways?